Hi,
That is Brittany.
that's Jonathan. So today we're going over the Friday portion of the lesson. So this is the last section of this week's lesson.
Yes, it is. That's what Friday is.
Okay, so
Genius.
so for today we have to read Titus chapter 2 verse 7.
In all things, showing yourself to be a pattern of good works, in doctrine, showing integrity, reverence, and incorruptibility.
Okay, so the Friday section says to reflect on the impact that spiritual leaders had on Israel's morale and effectiveness as God's chosen people. Who are some spiritual leaders in your life that have made a positive difference in your relationship with God? Do you have a person that comes to mind? Spiritual leader.
Spiritual leader? I'd have to give a shout out to one of my dudes, Pastor Poulet. He was one of those people who just, you met him, you're just like, huh. And everything he said was just like, I actually started, wanting to grow closer and strengthen my relationship with God because of, you seeing him and the way he'd pastor and the way he'd parent. It's just like one of those things you're just like, he's a nice dude. He was always just like calm and relaxed with everything. Even though he was head pastor of our church, and our church is like 600 members, and he's just like, no, it's just, just relaxing. And yeah, that's who I'd have to turn to. Got a shout out to everybody.
For myself, there's two people. So I've mentioned Pastor Daniel before. And I mean, Pastor Daniel was the first person from the church that I had met that was like, that actually made me realize that like Christians are also normal people.
Yes, we're not monsters.
So Pastor Daniel is definitely a leader that has made a difference in my relationship with God, because he also, like, I did my Bible studies with him. It was his sermon that made me want to get baptized in the first place.
I remember that.
There is also, I'm gonna be super cheesy and say your dad.
Really?
Yeah, because so
shout out to Pape.
So Jonathan's dad is the head elder at our church, and he, although doesn't show a lot of emotion,
Zero.
He's so like rooted into his faith,
yes,
that you wouldn't even question his
doctrine. His doctrine is extremely sound, and any question you come up, even though it may take him 30 years to get to the answer that you have asked him, you can't question his doctrines because he's so well read and he explains it so thoroughly. Even though you may fall asleep halfway through his explanation, it's just, he's a person I go to when I have doctrinal questions, and that's also the kind of person I want to be.
For me, it's not even like doctrine and that kind of thing that makes him have an impact on my life. It's the fact that he's so nonchalant and just kind of lives his life.
Non-judgmental.
But he lives in that peace, and he has that connection with God, and you see it. And I remember on one of our Friday evenings, he asked us all what made us happy to be Christian. And at that point, I was still really new, but I had realized that it was really living in that peace and knowing that it's always going to be all right, that makes me want to continue being Christian. And his answer was really similar to mine, and I don't know, I feel like I connected with your dad on a different level than I ever thought I could, and he made a big difference in my walk with God, in accepting me and taking me into the family, and never making me feel left out. Yeah.
Cool. My dad's cool. He's also awkward. But he's cool.
After that, it says, what specific stories or events have shaped your perception of them as godly leaders? I think we just went over that.
I'm pretty sure we covered that. Like I said, Pastor Pula, he was a great pastor. His undying, faith, which is how we got the school that we weren't supposed to get. This man had faith, and he continued to have faith, and God came through for us, and we were able to get that school. So that's just an example of, that level of faith. If you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. So that's something that I strive to. Get that kind of faith, that level of faith that he had. So yeah. Any other words?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Stay in school.
Sabbath school. Stay in Sabbath school.